Okay. So, do you both have previous acting experiences? I'm guessing with the MFA. Hopefully you do.
Yes, hopefully, right? You think? Yes, I've acted. Well, got my bachelor's of acting theater at UH Hilo. So did some acting there, and then prior to that, did several Hawaiian language films for the Ahau Punanaleo, Oiwi, and actually it started, I think I was in the first grade, maybe. It's kind of when I first started doing acting on video VHS back then. Yeah, so quite a bit.
Yeah, and I'm a teacher, so I act every day. I'm on stage, but I not so much. Not really my thing. But, elementary school, yeah, plays, school plays, things like that. But I've always loved theater. So my family, we'd always go to the theater, and so sort of been more of an audience, than yeah, not so much on stage. For now, I may have the bug.
Alright, so before this, you both had experience using Hawaiian language and whatnot. Okay, so were you just raised speaking it?
I was. So both my parents spoke in Hawaiian, and then we went to Punanaleo preschool, elementary school, graduated from Hawaiian immersion, and then continued at university where I actually first met Ke'alohi. She was in my Hawaiian language classes at UH Hilo. Yeah, and then just continued on, and now raising my children in Hawaiian as well.
Yeah, and for myself, I didn't speak growing up. I went to college to learn Hawaiian and became a teacher and taught for 10 years in the immersion program. So, yeah, language background that came sort of later in life.
Yeah. So where is it that you teach?
Now, don't put this in your article. I teach at Punaho now, but I just moved home from Hilo a year and a half ago, and I taught at Kekula o Navahio Kalaniopulu, where Kali went to school.
Yeah, interesting. Don't worry, kids recording. So what appeals to both of you the most about this play? Like, what really convinced you to join in on it?
Yeah, I think for me, as a teacher at Navahi, when I was teaching at Kekuloa Navahi Kalaniopulu, I worked really closely with the performing arts teacher, and was involved with co-producing a couple of student productions, and a couple of years before I left, I wrote a play, a hula drama, and it kind of like reminded me and brought me back, like the days in the theater and that kind of stuff. And it was sort of like, we don't have a lot of money, so we write, we produce, we direct all our own stuff, right? And it's very like, very, very crude, but it was fun, and it was super exciting for me to be a part of that. And so I moved home, and I am teaching at Punaho. Now, I don't really have a lot of Hawaiian language exposure anymore, and I miss it. And so when the call came for auditions, I just kind of told myself, what the heck? Like, just, go to the audition, meet new people, because I moved back here from Hilo. I don't really know the community, the Hawaiian language community here on Oahu. And so I thought, just go, just do it, just try. And if anything, you can ask to be stage crew or whatever, and learn a lot in the process. So I wanted it to be a growth experience for me. That was part of the appeal. And lo and behold, I ended up with a part, and so I'm freaking out, but it's a good experience. The other part of it is, so there's that love for theater and that love for performing arts. The other part of it is mo'olelo, the storytelling, mo'okalaleo, our traditional literature, and bringing life to that. So it's sort of a political, the other side is political for me. It's about making Hawaiian mainstream again, and as a personal goal, as a goal of the program that I've been educated in, to make Hawaiian mainstream, and to metaphorically, that means bringing it to the main stage, really. And so that, I didn't actually know that at the beginning, that it was the first Hawaiian language ever in this, on the main stage, but that quickly became another reason why it had to be, what it was going to be for myself. And making a political statement and saying, hey, I don't care if nobody comes to watch. This is what I think is valuable, and this is what, this is our kuleana, because this is what our kupuna left for us. And so we owe it to them. And we owe it to ourselves to make sure that those stories are told. And so that's sort of the other side of it, too, for me.
For me, because, well, on the one side, being raised in Hawaiian language, that's kind of, that's just who I am. But on the other side, I've always had a love for acting. Theater, even going to theater, it's always been a part of my life, I would say. Even as a child, my parents would always take us, and I'd always be performing. And I guess when I was I think what really started is I was in one of my classes at UH Hilo with Kumu Kalena, who had just come back from a conference in Aotearoa. And he had mentioned that he went to Waikato University and some of the other schools, and they had done various plays within the Maori language. And then he just brought up, he said, I would love to be able to see a play of Kamapua'a. And I thought to myself, I was like, wow, I didn't even think about putting the two together. And I was like, that's a great idea. I want to do that. And then on the other side, I have a love for cinema as well. So part of me, which started in intermediate school, is wanting to create feature films within the Hawaiian language. And that was to really let people know who Hawaii really is, who the Hawaiian people, the culture. Because I think when most people think Hawaii, they think paradise or this Hollywood scene that was put on, and for me it's much more than that. And so that's what I wanted to share with others. And so when Kumu Haile actually brought her cast Halo Hana Kiaka to Hilo for their play, which they put on for Kamapua'a, I was like, oh, that's where I need to be. I need to be with her. And so when I had heard that they were starting the Hawaiian theater program for masters, I was all over it. And then just being a part of Laie Kaupai has been such an awesome experience. Learning the process. I had mentioned before that I'd been in theater before. I had never performed in a Hawaiian language play. I helped put one on for students, but I've never actually been in one. And so this was a great opportunity. And for me to be able to, later on, I want to create my own stuff too. So this is a great process, a great experience for me to be a part of, to be able to, learn more and help bring more of that forward. Yeah.
Great.
Can we introduce a couple more too?
Yeah.
Okay.